Meeting, September 24th, 2018 Town Council meeting to order. Everybody has, I believe, received the agenda and so on. We have one minor addition, which is document 18, is that 18? 18-137, donations for the South Shore Fieldhouse Society, and that's under reports and recommendations at the end of the agenda. And so, anything else to add? If not, we'll assume the agenda is approved. Perfect. All right. Anything under announcements, Council? Go ahead. Councillor Councillor McDonald, sorry.
I just wanted to mention again for one last time that Afterglow is this Saturday night, and the Bridgewater Skate Park will be there with Skate of the Art. This is the second year the event has run. We have put out 30 skateboard decks in the community, and they've been painted by local artists. They will be an installation as part of Afterglow, but you can also place a bid in a silent auction to take home your favorite piece and help support the skate park. Last year's art was incredible. There were some really unique and interesting pieces, and it's definitely worth stopping by and checking it out, and at least saying hello to me because it's going to be a long night.
Councillor Graves.
And today is a historic day in the town of Bridgewater. Bridgewater Transit turns 1 year. And Jessica McDonald, our Director of Planning, has given me some fun facts that I'd like to share with you. So today is the first year of service. The first 3 weeks of last year were free, where they had 2,800 riders. We started with approximately 42 riders per day. That has nearly doubled now to 75 riders per day, which is absolutely amazing. In February, early February, we had our 5,000th rider. As of today, we've had 25,000 riders, which is an incredible. So we're really building momentum, which is really important. And that 25,000th rider was a Tammy Maynard. So congratulations, Tammy. And in order to celebrate the this great transit service that we have, there's going to be draws for passes taking place Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. There's a fill the ballot on the box on the bus. On Wednesday, CKBW and Country 100 is riding the bus in late morning, and on Thursday, Cake and Council at the LCLC. So stop by between 10:30 and 1 and tell us all the great things about the bus, and we'd love to see you. So thank you.
Wonderful, thank you. Anything else? Councillor Thorburn.
I have three announcements, maybe just two, Andrew. The first one is this Friday, the 28th of September at 1800 hours or 6 p.m. The West Nova Scotia Regiment is gathering down at Shipyards Landing. The Honourable John G. Leaf, Honorary Colonel, is being transferred to Honourable Donald R. Down. He'll be the new Honorary Colonel for the West Nova unit. And then right after that, we're going to form up at Veterans Memorial Park, where we have the privilege and honor of planting a Vimy oak tree that came from Vimy Ridge.
Wow.
A guy that was over there brought some acorns home and grew them, and we purchased one, and it's certainly going to be a great addition to Veterans Memorial Park. So anybody in the public, spectators here tonight, please show up to both of the events. A small reception afterwards at the Branch 24 Royal Canadian Legion. And then on the 29th, the 143 Construction Engineering Flight Bloomberg County at 391 Harold Wynot Road has an open house where you can come out and check out the displays and just talk to the unit there. So that's
Great.
it. Thank you.
Great, they do great work for us.
Yep.
Councillor Fagier.
Yes, I have two announcements. The first one is a reminder for the tea party, Ada's Tea, which is Saturday, September 29th at 2 p.m. at the Des Brisay Museum. You can pick up your tickets, which are $10 each. So that helps support the museum, and it's a fundraiser for the Friends of the Museum. Second event is this weekend marks the 41st provincial show by 4-H. We're hosting provincials here. The opening is Friday evening. It will be all weekend at the South Shore Exhibition Grounds here in Bridgewater.
Perfect, thank you. One other item of note is that there's been a change of date for the public hearing regarding the housekeeping amendments to the land use bylaw regarding outdoor wood furnaces. The new date of the public hearing will be Monday, October 22nd during regularly scheduled meeting at Town Council. So for any of those folks that are interested in that. And if you hadn't noticed, the mayor is away. He's in, I believe, Toronto for work. So I'm taking over, and I know he's avidly watching Facebook Live to see how I do, probably, and critique me as we go, I'm sure. We have presentations tonight, so the gallery is relatively full, which is great to see. We have some achievement awards for the Bridgewater Barracudas, I believe, and Councillor McDonald's going to help me with that, I think. Yep,
Sure.
perfect.
All right, we've got quite a lineup here. As always, when the Barracudas are in the house, we have Mariah Kelly. Is Mariah here? So Mariah competed in and won the girls 17 and over, 50 free back and breast, 100 breast and back. Competed and won the girls 15 and over, 200 medley and free relay. High point female of the meet and named to the summer swimming all-star team. Next we have McKenna Lipsett. Yeah. We're not very popular tonight. McKenna competed in and won the girls 15 and over 200 medley relay. Jada Roy. Everybody heard it was you tonight. So Jada competed in and won the girls 15 and over 200 medley and free relay. Mia Hartling. She's not here either. Competed in and won the girls 15 and over 200 medley and free relay. Peyton Lipsett competed in and won the girls 15 and over 200 free relay. Sarah Johnson competed in and won the girls 13 to 14, 50 and 100 back and set a provincial record in 50 back. Thomas Owen. Did I see him? No. Dad's here.
Phew, thank you.
So Thomas competed in and won the boys 17 and over, 50 breast, and was named to the summer swimming all-star team. Congratulations, Dad.
He's at Dal, so there you go.
You worked hard for it too, I'm sure. You worked hard for it too, I'm sure. Jonathan Haas, am I saying it right? Okay. Competed and won in the boys 15 to 16, 50, 100, and 200 free. Competed and won the boys 15 to 16, 50 butterfly. Competed and won the boys 15 and over 200 medley and free relay, and was named to the Nova Scotia Summer Swimming All-Star Team. Adam Colbert. Didn't know we saw him. Adam competed in and won the boys 15, 16, 50 back, and the 15 and over 200 medley relay.
Adam's also a very good DJ. He's like the DJ.
Awesome. Keep that in mind. Travis Smith. Travis competed and won the boys 15 to 16, 50 and 100 breast and 200 IM. Okay. Competed and won boys 15 and over 200 medley and free relay. Travis set a provincial record in the boys 15 to 16, 50 breast and was named to the all-star team. Lucas Sangster, I don't think I saw him. Lucas competed and won the boys 15 and over 200 medley free and relay. And Logan Sangster competed and won the boys 15 and over 200 free relay. And the Bridgewater Barracuda Swim Club 2018 Nova Scotia Summer Swimming Provincial Championship High Point Team for 6th year in a row. Is it 6 years now? Eight. Wow. Oh yes, 8th consecutive year that the Barracudas have won the provincial title.
Step back a bit. You don't need me.
That's amazing, huh? 8 years in
Yeah.
a row.
You didn't scare them all off, Andrew.
Smallest team yet.
Practice tonight at 7. That's their only practice.
Congratulations, guys.
Congratulations.
That's amazing.
All right. And don't
Oh,
feel
wait,
like you
this is the
have to
exciting
stay.
stuff.
I know it's very exciting, but great items up ahead. Yeah, no, okay. Are there any delegations this evening that would like to address council? I don't think so, but no, none. All right, moving on. We have the minutes of September 10th, 2018 for the regular council meeting. We have a motion to approve those minutes.
So moved.
Thank you, Councillor McDonald, seconder. Thank you,
I'll
Councillor
second
Frazier.
motion.
All in favor? Those against? Minutes are approved. We have a big item tonight, 7.1, appointment of Chief of Police. Very exciting stuff. So anyone would like to make the motion? Councillor Thorburn.
This would be my privilege.
Wonderful.
The Town Council for the Town of Bridgewater authorized the appointment of Scott Feener as Chief of Police effectively upon swearing in on October the 4th, 2018.
All right, do we have a seconder? Councillor McDonald? Any other discussion on that? I don't think so,
news.
no? All right.
Awesome.
Awesome news, great news. All in favor? Those against? Motion is carried. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Or
Scott?
soon to be
Yeah.
congratulations.
Yep.
That's
All
great.
right, at this time, we'll take a brief, no, we can't take a deep brief rest. Too early, okay. You'll give me some kind of signal. Okay, all right. Moving on to planning items. I need to declare a conflict for this item, so I'll ask Councillor Graves to take over chair and.
Sure.
All right. Can I leave my stuff there? Yeah, right.
So as Deputy Mayor Tanner indicated, there is an application for a development agreement for 463 and 469 King Street. And I guess, Jessica, you're going to walk us through that?
Yep, it'll just be very brief.
Yep.
We've received an application, as you said, for two properties on King Street. So that's 463 King and 469. 469 is the courtyard next door to 463, which is known as the former Bavarian building. The application was made by Saltbox Brewing, and the request is a development agreement for a beverage room and rooftop patio associated with microbrewery at 463 King Street, and a beverage room and beer garden in the courtyard next door. So this is just a preliminary application, and we're asking that council refer it to staff for a public meeting and process, and that staff will then bring this back with full analysis of the application and recommendation at a future date. And so we're suggesting a public meeting for this. So again, sorry, I missed a couple points on the slide, that it's historic downtown commercial zone, C1 zone. The surrounding land use is a mix of commercial and residential up along Pleasant Street. And these uses, beverage room, microbrewery, are both enabled in the C1 zone by development agreement. So that's why we're going through this process. So we forgot about the moving of a council meeting to Tuesday because of Thanksgiving.
Oh.
So we're suggesting a time of 5:30 p.m. for the public meeting on Tuesday, October 9th.
Great.
That's it.
Anybody have any questions, comments?
Good.
I
Another
think-
vacant building being used.
Yeah, and it's going to open up and liven up that part of King Street. I think it's great. Looking forward to it, thrilled. There is a
Like
motion. Yeah.
Yep. Yes, that Town Council for the Town of Bridgewater refer the matter of the application for development agreement for 463 and 469 King Street to staff to follow the development agreement application process required by policy IM-7 of the municipal planning strategy, including undertaking a public participation meeting on Tuesday, October 9th at 5:30 p.m. in Town Hall's committee room.
And do we have a seconder? Councilor McDonald, any other discussion?
Question.
Great. All in favor? Great. Thank you.
Playing musical chairs here tonight. So we've got no correspondence for information. We've got correspondence for action. We have the 2019 Social Exhibition Canadian Heritage Grant that they're applying for, and they need municipal support. So I think you've got all the background on that. I don't know if there's any discussion, but we could have a motion and then discuss.
Just a comment, I
Sure,
guess.
go ahead, Councilor Graves.
That's a substantial investment that we made in the South Shore exhibition, and it'd be nice if we could somehow let the people of the area know that the town is really supporting this particular project. But there's lots of other projects as well where we do give in kind, and it'd be nice if we could kind of blow our own horn on that.
Good point. Go
I'll
ahead.
make a motion.
Councilor Fisher, sure. Thank you.
That Town Council for the Town of Bridgewater authorize the CAO to provide confirmation of an in-kind support for the 2019 South Shore Exhibitions Grant application to Heritage Canada.
Thank you. Do we have a seconder? Councilor Graves? Any further discussion, comment, question?
Just a
go ahead.
question, I guess, is this comparable to what we've given other years for in-kind, or is it?
Through the chair to council, I'll be cut and pasting from last year. So last year
Okay.
it was $11,000 contribution in kind, and that's what we understand the requirements are again this year.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else? All in favor? Those against? Motion is carried. Recommendation of the CAO under reports and recommendations, repeal of outdated bylaws. Would you like to give us a quick synopsis of that one?
Please, to, so through the chair to council, before you, you have a report recommending the repeal of 4 bylaws that we have listed. All 4 bylaws are outdated and do not reflect the current organization. As the report indicates, it talks about council hiring officers. I'm assuming that in the day would have been the engineer or whatever. There is a town clerk bylaw. We actually don't have a town clerk per se. There's a treasurer bylaw, and which actually prescribes signing officers that don't exist, and as well with the town solicitor. So there's no need to have these 4 bylaws. And in fact, when we continue to have bylaws that are not applied or not enacted, it reduces the efficacy of the bylaws that we need. So we will be bringing other bylaws forward that are similarly outdated in the future, but these 4 are bundled together logically to bring forward to council for cleanup.
Okay.
Ready
Councilor
for a
Thorburn?
motion?
Sure, sounds
All
great.
right. I would move that Town Council of the Town of Bridgewater endorse the intent to repeal Chapter 7, Officers and Their Duties Bylaw, Chapter 8, Town Clerk Bylaws, Chapter 8A, Treasurer Bylaws, and Chapter 9, Town Solicitor Bylaw, as per document 18-132, and proceed to the second reading to repeal the bylaws at a council meeting to be held on October the 22nd, 2018, and authorize staff to publish all public notices pursuant to Section 168 of the Municipal Government Act.
Wonderful. Do we have a seconder? Councilor McDonald, thank you. Any further discussion? Are you ready for the question?
Question?
Question.
All those in favor? Those against? Motion is carried. We're close here to a recess, perhaps. Next item is the audited financial statements. Council's just had a presentation on that. I don't know if there's anything else you want to add, Dawn? No? Okay, sounds good. Perfect.
Is there
Good evening. Before council are the 2017-18 audited financial statements, which consist of the audited consolidated financial statements for the town of Bridgewater and the town of Bridgewater Trust funds. Both of these sets of statements have unqualified audit opinions. Just a quick look at the consolidated statement of financial position, or the balance sheet. Financial assets of $27.8 million, liabilities of $13.9 million, for net financial assets of $13.9 million, and non-financial assets of $77.3 million, so total $91.2 million. This is the consolidated statement of financial activities, or the income statement, showing a consolidated net income of $3.7 million. Now, that is a big number, but
it includes some amounts that are not used for the purposes of the tax rate calculation and excludes some amounts that are used. So just taking a quick look at how that gets us to the income on the operating fund. So surplus in the consolidated statement of 3.7 million. So we need to adjust that for amounts that are included in consolidated income but not in the tax rate calculations. And those would be things like capital revenue, amortization. Then there are also amounts that are not included in consolidated but included in the tax rate calculations. And those would be things like principal payments on long-term debt. So the operating surplus for the 2017-18 year was $451,230, and that has been transferred to an operating reserve as required by legislation. So just having a look at the revenue variance for the operating fund, we were short 42.7 thousand, but our expenditures were under budget by almost $494,000, so surplus $450,000. Quick look at the capital fund, an $8 million budget, and that included both the work in process carried forward from last year and the 17-18 capital budget. The actual expenditures were 3.6, so the difference of 4 million carried forward, and there were net project savings of $311,000. Debt issued for prior year's capital during 17-18 was $1.957 million, and we repaid debt of $749,000. Significant transaction during the 2017-18 fiscal year was the wind up of the Bridgewater Development Association. And when that society wound up, the assets came back to the town, which included land for resale. And for financial statement purposes, we were required to value that at fair market value of $2.365 million. Some other smaller assets that came on board as well, and then the frontage fees associated with some of the BDA lands had to be written off so the net asset transfer was $1.1 million. And just a quick synopsis of reserves. You'll see the operating reserves has funds available of $2.35 million, capital reserves available $1.25 million, and the special purpose tax reserve, all of those funds have been allocated to the debt payments for the LCLC. And that's all I had. Many thanks to the auditors and the finance staff. It was a big project, and we reached the end.
Very big project.
Are there any questions?
Sounds good. Any questions for the Director of Finance? If not, we'll put one of two motions on the floor, I believe. Someone will. Two of two, sorry. Councilor McDonald, thank you.
We need both of them. Okay, so I would
Yes.
move the Town Council for the Town of Bridgewater approve the following unbudgeted transfers for 2017-18. The following donations received from operating to operating reserve to be used for the purpose specified by the donor. $25,500 Lunenburg County Multipurpose Center for debt retirement. $200 South Shore Vet Dog Zone. $4,480 remaining in the wayfinding budget from operating to operating reserve to be used for wayfinding signage in 2018-2019. And $22,679 related to the change in the landfill closure, post-closure estimate from the capital reserve to fund the operating fund.
Wonderful. Do we have a seconder?
I can't do that too.
Thank you, Councilor Graves. All those in favor? Those against? Motion is carried. And a second motion?
I move that Town Council for the Town of Bridgewater approve the audited financial statements for the Town of Bridgewater and the Town of Bridgewater Trust Fund for the year ended March 31st, 2018, as reviewed by the Audit Committee.
Thank you. Do we have a seconder? Councilor Thorburn, thank you. Any further discussion on that? All in favor? Those against, motion is carried. Wonderful. We are going to take a short recess, and we'll be back in about 5 to 10 minutes, I assume. Wonderful. Thank you. We're back on air with Eastlink after a short recess. Thank you. David Walker, Chair of the Police Commission, do you have an announcement for us?
Very exciting announcement. Subsequent to the motion passed by council tonight, appointing Scott Feener as our new permanent chief. The police board just met. We're very proud to announce that acting Deputy Chief Danny McPhee has been appointed the permanent Deputy Chief for the Bridgewater Police Service. Looking forward to long tenure from both Scott and Danny going forward, so we're delighted.
Wonderful.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Great news.
Good work. Sure. Would the CAO like to outline what's coming up then?
So through the chair to council, I'd be very pleased to outline what's coming up. On October 4th at 6 p.m., the public is cordially invited to attend the swearing-in ceremony for the new Bridgewater Police Service Chief of Police, Scott Feener, and Deputy Chief Danny McPhee. The event will be here at Town Hall on 60 Pleasant Street in Bridgewater, and we look forward to seeing the public then.
Great news. Congratulations. This will be exciting. All right, moving on. We've got donations to the South Shore Fieldhouse Society. I'd like to get a motion on the floor for that. And Councillor Thorburn, go ahead.
I would move that Town Council, Town of Bridgewater approve a grant in the amount of $3,150 to the South Shore Fieldhouse Society for the multi-use facility on Glen Allen Drive.
Thank you. A seconder? Councillor Graves, thank you. Any discussion on that?
Question.
No. Question been called. All those in favor? Those against? Motion is carried. Next item is remuneration for mayors and councillors. I don't know if we want to have a brief discussion with this, or maybe the CAO wants to give a summary of what's happening with this one.
Be pleased to.
Okay, thank you.
So through the chair to council, last year, the federal government announced changes to how they calculate income tax for elected officials, which means that they'll no longer be eligible for a tax exemption on 1/3 of their remuneration. We have forward a recommendation to raise the salaries to offset the lost income to ensure no net loss in take-home pay. This will not result in any increase in net pay. However, it will increase the expenditure by adding more to gross payroll in the 2019-2020 budget. This is what our intention is to move forward for budget. This is consistent with what other councils across Nova Scotia are doing with this direction from the federal government. I am recommending that we increase the compensation. It's important that compensation does not become a barrier to participation in local government, and setting reasonable pay is an important action to ensure that and encourage residents to consider serving as an elected official.
Thank you. Any discussion with the council on that before we put a motion on the floor, or are you ready?
I would imagine
ahead,
this is
Councillor Rose.
happening to small towns all across the country, and it's just a shame. Millions and millions of dollars that small towns really haven't got. It's a shame, really.
Councillor Thorburn.
And I think, Andrew, it also ensures fairness to those who offer to serve their communities, that we shouldn't be penalized for committing service to the community. And I think it's fairness, and that's why I will support that.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll entertain a motion if there's no further discussion. Councillor Fugere.
Yes, I'll make a motion that Town Council for the Town of Bridgewater direct staff to revise Policy 64 Annual Remuneration Adjustment. Council members effective April 1st, 2019 as a result of federal taxation changes and in conjunction with preparation of the 2019-20 town budget, resulting in an increase of the gross budget by $16,840.
Okay, thank you. Do we have a seconder? Councillor McDonald, thank you. Any further discussion on that?
Question.
Question's been called. All those in favor? Those against, motion is carried. Last item before council adjourns and goes in camera tonight is dogs in Brookside Cemetery. I remember that came to council a few weeks ago, and we referred it to staff for a report, and we've got the report, so you want to tee that one up?
Sure.
All right, perfect.
So through the chair to council, this is the report that council saw a month and a half or so ago. We were directed to discuss this with police and bylaw enforcement. There has been some enforcement activity with police speaking to both a complainant and some potential dog owners that were subject to the complaint. It appears to staff that this intervention by enforcement should improve the situation, the concern that brought forward the original request. And at this point, staff would like to continue with the existing status quo and not move forward with consideration of a total ban on dogs in Brookside Cemetery.
Okay. Any questions for the CAO, or
Seems fair.
everyone's good with that? So I don't think any motion is needed, correct? All right, everyone good? Okay. We've got one in-camera item that we'll need to go to, but I think that's it for tonight. I'll entertain a motion for adjournment.
Motion to adjourn.
Thank you, Cheryl.
Second.
Councilor Fisher. All right, we're adjourned, and we're next door in a few minutes.
I don't know my, that in-camera one. I just looking for it.